Hi everyone, this is Cora Perry. Am I trans lesbian? Am I trans straight? Let's talk about it. But when it comes to love, you can be in love with anyone. You can be in love with male, you can be in love with female. Sexuality is different. I think a lot of people mix love with sexuality, and they shouldn't do this because love is entirely different than sexuality. For me, love is pure. Love is about caring. Love is about not expecting anything in return. Love is unconditional, whereas sexuality, you have to participate in that. Lust, you have to participate in that. Anything that you can put your hands on and anything that you want to expect from others, that's different than love. When we love someone, it's more about connecting emotional level, whereas sexuality is more of a physical thing. So I never distinguish between loving a girl or loving a guy. But when it comes to sexuality, I have always been straight trans woman. Okay, now straight trans woman, a lot of people might take it as if, oh, straight means because you were born a male, so straight means for you that you go for girls. No, that's not straight. When you're a trans woman, then straight means you're interested in men. When you are trans men, and if you're straight, that means you're interested in women. So as a trans woman, I'm not interested sexually in a female, or biological female, trans female, whatever female it is. I'm not interested in a female. That makes me straight, trans straight. Growing up, I never thought I would ever be interested in women because I always had this idea in my head that I am a woman. Well, I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, in my heart, the awareness that I had about myself, that was telling me that I can never have feelings for a woman. So that's how I grew up. As a child, there have been situations where women, biological women, in my school life, I'm talking about girls, or college life, they try to hit on you. You are the same age as they are, so if they're a kid, you are a kid. If they're adult, you're adult. Because we all go through school, college, universities, and people sometimes are interested in you, you know. And I'm not saying sexually. I'm just saying like, anyone anyone can find anyone interesting or cute at any time. But of course, when it comes to physicality, that's totally different. In my class, when I was in school, there were some girls who were interested in me, but I was never interested because my interest has always been in men. And when I'm saying men, it doesn't mean that there was a physical man that I was interested in, but deep down I knew that I would find guys attractive rather than girls. So I knew it from very early age, and I could never even imagine having anything, even a slight kiss on the cheek with any girl. No. So that's not me. And this is how I grew up. When I was in my 10th standard secondary education, I come across this girl. We sort of had an attraction. We found each other cute. She was my relative, distant relative. We both knew there was something about each other, but we never cared much. So after some years, because of my financial situation, I had to travel. So I traveled in a different country, and she was in a different country. We spoke online and told this to each other. We confessed that, yeah, we found each other. There was something about each other, and we found each other interesting, but we didn't know what was it. So we started talking online, and we developed the liking towards each other. And at that point of time, we both was thinking that it was love. It was growing into love, and it became love. Basically, that's what we were thinking at that time. We were both very young. We were 21. We both were the same age. And basically, we were just talking to each other without any expectation, without demanding any physical thing. It was just pure love, basically. And I was questioning myself. So all my life, I grew up to have the sense in my head that from my heart, I'm a woman. I have always been interested and attracted in men rather than women. But this is the first time I have feeling for someone. and she doesn't look like a man. So she was a good looking girl. But there was something about her. So we were talking. While I was talking to her, I was constantly questioning myself, which I couldn't share with her because she wasn't aware of my situation, what was going on in my head. So we were only talking about, each other, likings, dislikes. So we were mentally, we were very good match, but there were a lot of things about me that she did not know. And most of those things were about my mental health, basically. So I'm not a mad person, but when I'm saying mental health, that means my transition. I'm not calling trans people mad, but it is something that comes from our brain, the awareness, and that's what I'm talking about. So after talking to her for about a month, I was feeling as if I was in prison. I was in a cage because I was feeling very frustrated that I'm not able to let it out to her. And I was also frustrated because I knew that it's embarrassing. I knew if I will tell her, what is she going to think about? All these questions were eating my mind. They were boggling my mind. I did not know how to confront her about this. And because we were distant relative, it was embarrassing for me to come out to her as well, especially when I even couldn't figure out about myself that time because I was struggling with my own self. There came a situation where I had to choose between, should I accept myself the way I am from bottom of my heart that I'm a woman? Being in this position, it is unfair not to tell her. And if I would tell her, then that's embarrassing as well. At the same time, if I don't tell her, that will be unfair to her. This was a very difficult situation. I thought about it a lot, and I was thinking, right now we are in love and all that, but once, for example, we get married, a wife has a lot of expectation from the husband, and I would never be a husband because I'm not a man. I don't even know what husband is like, and I felt very awkward, very out of place. I was scared from the thought that, she might expect me to have probably physical with her. I was scared that she might expect what a woman expect, what a bride expect from their husband, and I could not even touch her. I was thinking, what did I put myself into? I did like that girl. I still like that girl. I was very serious about her, but all that love was emotional. That love was kind of asexual love, without any touch. I never wanted to touch her, but I could still feel like there was a love. I would have cared for her. And it was difficult to tell her. But at the same time, I had this awareness. I do not want to ruin her life. I never wanted to ruin her life because I knew with me in this situation, her life would be ruined. She was expecting me and my parents to come to her house and ask for her hand for marriage or propose to her. And, because we got so serious, like emotionally, I had to make a decision very quickly. I had these two things in my head that, what about if I say yes now and make her life hell? Because this is just an experiment. I might like it, I might not like it, but after marriage, that girl's life will be ruined. A lot of people think of a marriage that this is just one time thing. Like, you just marry once in your life. A lot of girls, guys, when they marry first time, they have so much expectation from marriage. They want it to last forever. Nobody think about divorce. Nobody wants to marry someone thinking of having divorce already or thinking about separation, especially when they're in love. So I didn't want it to be that selfish person who would say yes so that maybe somehow miraculously I will eventually change and I will have a baby with her. And what if I would have changed my mind after some years into marriage? What if I was feeling so frustrated after marriage that I would not hide it and I would tell her that time, because then she wouldn't have any option to do whatever she wanted to do, because before that she was unmarried, she had never had a boyfriend, I never had a girlfriend. And if I would come out to her after marriage without letting her know that this is what I am from inside, this is what goes on in my head, this is the situation in my mind, if I would have told her that, then it would be my insecurity, my, what do you call, my self-respect would get hurt if I would tell her that. But if I don't tell her that, that will be fraud. That will be like being selfish. And I never wanted to be that selfish person. I never wanted to put her in any trouble or cause her any trouble. So I decide to tell her we cannot go further. We were only talking online. You know, it was innocent, pure relationship or going towards relationship, and I broke up on that. She felt so sad. She was, asking me the reason. I couldn't even tell her the reason. I couldn't. Except for that, I cannot commit with her. And I can imagine how hard it must have been for her, for getting ditched, basically, without any reason. When I think about it now, I feel I was so cruel. But at the same time, I'm very proud of myself for not lying to her, for not ruining her life. Can you imagine? Your daughter will grow up one day, or your son will grow up one day. They will fall in love with somebody. They will marry that person. And after some years of marriage, their partner wants to transition into something which is completely opposite gender. Not everybody is gay, not everybody is straight, not everybody is okay with the idea of seeing their partner opposite to what they had when they married to them. Nobody's very comfortable with this. You can't expect people to always understand. I can imagine, like, if I would have married, even being a trans person that I am right now, if I would marry a guy, or if any of my ex, after breakup or before breakup, while they are with me, if they would take interest in transitioning, or even after breakup, they would take interest in transitioning, I would have felt so bad that I've been cheated on. I have been lied to. Because I'm never interested in femininity or feminine guys. And if the guys were lying to you about that, I couldn't have taken it. I would have taken it like I just wanted to vomit, basically. I can't sugarcoat this. Don't take me wrong, please. I have been in that situation. I know how hard it is to tell truth to someone, to come clean. But we can't be selfish all the time. We have to tell a person truth. And the right one will always stick with you. There's nothing wrong with being trans. There's nothing wrong with being trans lesbian or trans gay. As long as you don't cheat your partner, as long as your partner is aware of it from the beginning. Because not everybody's sexuality is in the spectrum that they can switch from male to female and they'll still be happy. So if my partner, for example, would have switched from male to female, I would never be with that partner. I would be emotionally supported to that person, but I would never be sexually attracted in that partner. And I would be thinking about my life, what's next? Because after all, physicality is also a big thing. Sexuality is also a big thing. Everybody has those sexual requirements. And if I'm not attracted in females, it doesn't matter how much I love that guy. If he transitioned into female, I would maybe become friends with him if I get along with him, but I would never want to have sex with him. And even when it comes to friendship, I would have friendship with him or keep him in good terms, or her in good terms at that point of time, because we have good memories together, because we were honest with each other from the beginning. But if I feel like I have been cheated on, I have been lied to, that will be hard for me to maintain. A lot of my community, they are trans lesbian, they are trans gay. Not everybody's trans and straight. So not every trans woman goes for men. Not every trans guy goes for girl. I don't have any problem with anyone like that. I only request you to be aware of yourself, to put yourself in someone else's shoe and think about it for a second. If you have this thing in your mind, and if you know that this is what you want to do in future, or if you're suppressing your feelings too much, just because so you can get married to someone, just because so that you have to provide an offspring to the new generation, please don't ruin someone's life for this. This is very selfish. There is absolutely nothing wrong if you're honest with someone from the beginning. Tell them your plan. This is what you want to do. Maybe in future, this is what you want to do. Or even if you don't plan anything at that point of time, because a lot of times we are not aware that this is what we want to do in future. So what we want to do is we want to at least let other person know that this is our mental state. This is how we feel about it ourselves sometimes. If some men or women like to cross-dress in private, if even that thing, you need to come clean with your partner before any physical contact, before marriage. And for trans women, please, when you date men, be honest with them. Don't lie to them. Don't wait for first date or kissing or any physical touch. Come clean with them before you even have any physical touch. And I'm not telling that tell them about your everything in the first meeting or something. I can imagine you might be thinking about your own security and everything, but at least you can tell one person before having physical contact with that person. Be honest. It saves you from a lot of hassle. Be honest. It saves you from lies. It saves you from boiling up inside because you're keeping too much things inside and not coming out clean with that. And it saves you from ruining someone's life, and it saves you from being so selfish that you didn't even put someone else's happiness in front, the one who you are having weddings vow with. Trans women transition in different stages in their life, but we all have this thinking in our head from very early age that we have interest in certain things. We do have idea that, yeah, this is their interest. Whatever your interest is, if you want to get into a relationship with anyone that is physical, you need to tell that person that this is what you have in your mind. This is what your idea in your mind. This is like how you are in a male and female spectrum. If you like to cross-dress, come up clean and tell them, yeah, you like to cross-dress. Or maybe if you like to wear pink or do makeup in private, tell your partner before you even have sex with that person. It is very important. You don't know how painful it is for other person and their mental stress, and how horrible it is for their mental peace, and how difficult it is for their mental health. There's absolutely nothing wrong being trans lesbian, being trans gay, whoever you are, whatever your interests are, being a cross-dresser, there's nothing wrong with it. Being non-binary doesn't matter. Just be honest with everyone, so people see you the way you are. Especially the ones who wants to share bed with you, because that's a trauma for the rest of their life with them, in case if they are not happy with their partner being gay or trans, especially finding out after so many years of marriage, because so many people think, did I turn him gay? He wasn't gay before when I met him. Am I that person? People develop so many insecurities if you don't come out clean with them. This is what I like about this generation, that in this generation people have rights to be the way they are. They can be non-binary, they can be queer. They don't have to fit in trans umbrella, and they don't have to transition, because not everybody wants to do that, and that's why they keep it inside them. And when they marry someone, that person have a shock of their life later on that their partner loves to cross-dress or loves to do makeup or loves to do something like that, loves to wear thongs or something. And you straight people, I'm telling you guys, non-binary people, queer people, if they're being themselves, and if you're being transphobic with them, you're not doing yourself a favor, because they are showing you their authentic self. You are the one who are forcing them to go back to that hidden self, so they have to hide who they are, so that they will marry one of your daughter, and then you have to deal with it. Once they start transition all of a sudden after so many years, because you did not create the safe environment for them to be who they are, and now it's just bubbled up, and now you're just seeing this horrible reality. Be open-minded, people. I would request from both sides, from whether it's the trans community, LGBT community, or whether it's straight cis community, which you don't like the word cis, I'm gonna say straight biological community. Whatever you are, appreciate people when they're honest with you, because that's good for you. Because if you suppress these people, when they're coming out with you. This can happen with your daughter, your son later on in life, when they will end up marrying with someone who later on, after 10 or 15 years, transition into women wearing heels of your own daughter or wearing the bra of your own daughter. And then you will realize that, yeah, your daughter's life has been ruined because of your close-mindedness. On this note, thank you very much for listening. Be honest with yourself. Be real. And for God's sake, stop hate. When somebody opens up with you, respect that. Thank you.